Which leads me to our Jam Academy today, using AI to identify your community's competitive analysis. And what this is doing, obviously with the goal is to utilize AI tools to discover your competitive advantages without having to cost you your time and energy, and to be more accurate, be able to do additional deeper research to come back with accurate comparisons. All you need is a paid chat GPT account for this. But why we're doing this, in today's economy, the ability for site selectors to do comparisons is easier than ever. So you've got to be on your game. If you know you're a finalist or you're up against several communities, this is a quick way to be able to put in those competitors and to get real answers of how you should position your community to win the project. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And how do you address those with the correct language? And so using analysis with AI, it gives you better informed decisions. It gives you enhanced accuracy because it can do deeper dives on more data in a quickly and efficient time. So time efficiency is massive, and it gives you the competitive advantage to stay ahead of your competitors and to know how to position when you're in a competitive competition, if you will, for a project, to win a project. So this is another advanced prompt. As I've said, these prompts will be posted in the video. So if you're a official elite city of ours and you dial into the Jam Academy, you can easily open up these and open up the descriptions and cut and paste. And I encourage you to do that versus trying to retype these, because these are quite extensive, but you'll see the information that comes back as really extensive. So I always like to set the scene. You're an expert economic development competitive analyst advising a community that is preparing to engage in expansion or relocation project. Second part of an engineered prompt: what do you want it to execute? So analyze and compare the following communities for, put in your industry type, prospect that is evaluating multiple locations. You could obviously do many more locations. I just put in 3 here, but if you want to add another, you just add in community E, F, and G and continue to go. But usually you're up against probably 3 if it's a finalist situation. How to execute this, I just told what to look for and the different areas that professional site locators are considering when doing comparative analysis, and then how you want the results. Deliver the analysis in the following format, and I described the format for you to do. So all you have to do is cut and paste this, which I did over here, and I did Delaware, Ohio as the community that we're analyzing, and for a metal fabrication type prospect. And what I did is I picked 3 random communities: San Antonio, Texas, Lee Summit, Missouri, and Huntington Beach, California. Kind of a spectrum of all them together, and then basically pasted the rest of the prompt, and I hit go. And so I've already done this. It literally took about, I'm going to say 2 minutes to do the deep dive on it. It says 30 seconds, but that's before it got engaged and went into it and then pulled all of this. But it came back with the side-by-side comparisons on workforce, transportation, utilities, sites, incentives, operational costs, quality of life, notable strengths. And you can go through and see how your community fares against those. And then it came back with a narrative summary of what you should talk about when you're talking with this prospect. And then where Delaware must be proactive to avoid losing to San Antonio, because it determined that San Antonio had the best chance and best story for that type of a company. And so it came back and talked about speed to occupancy, utility certainty, labor competitive narrative, and it gave the type of knowledge or verbiage you should use when talking with a prospect. And then it came back with 3 strong positioning talking points that you should really focus on. Midwest reach without Midwest compromise, a competitive incentive stack that protects the ROI of the company, executive level livability that helps keep the supervisors you hire. So talking about long-term and workforce happiness, if you will. And then talked about gaps. The other thing that I want to mention is I put in here so that it would stack it for you. So it came back and says, if you want, Eric, tell me the prospect's approximate footprint, peak head count, power demand range, and I'll tighten up this and put together a scorecard to give you additional language. So, quite impressively, what you just accomplished in less than 30 minutes is you bought back hours and hours of research. So now you can focus on putting together the presentation, putting together the information, and putting that strategy into action, communicating that to the prospect, not being tied up with the amount of research that would have taken to come back with in less than 30 minutes. So that's how you put together a competitive analysis against other communities when you're up against a project. Enjoy. If you ever have any questions, always reach out to me and I'd be more than glad to help you.